January is a make or break month when it comes to having success in the garden. If you plant the right things this month, your whole year could be made in the garden. But if you miss a couple of plants this month, you could mess up an entire season and maybe the whole year. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what to plant in January, no matter where you live. I'm going to base what I'm teaching you to plant this month on your last frost date. This means the date by which we're expecting no more frost to happen in your garden space. So if you don't know your last frost date, don't you worry. We've got a brand new frost date calculator right on the Gardenary website that you can use for free. So I'll put a link to that right at the top of this video. So go find out your last frost date, and then you're gonna put yourself into a category. You're gonna be a 1 if your last frost date happens before the end of February. You're gonna be a 2 if your last frost date happens before the end of April. And you're gonna be a 3 if your last frost date happens in May or June. Once you know your category, it's time to make our planting plan list. Let's start with number 1. You lucky guys where it's not that cold and you are not freezing in the garden like I am right now. You have so much to plant indoors right now to get ready for the end of February. That's when you have no frost left, and it is time to quickly move these garden plants out into the garden because things are going to heat up. If you don't have frost past February, that means your summers are likely pretty darn hot. So you need to get these plants into the garden by March or April. So the time to start these indoors is right now. First up is basil. I love this purple basil, but any kind of basil. If you love basil like I do, it's the time to start these plants indoors. Start it from seed, put light on top of it, and it'll be ready to plant out at the end of February. Next up, we want to focus on these slow growing fruiting plants. These plants take a long time to get started from seed, so you don't want to wait till February, otherwise it'll be too late. First up, you want to start eggplant. These are what you call tender perennials, meaning they might last in the garden for years. And I don't know if they kind of make us pay up front for that fact, but they take quite a bit to get going by seed. So you want to start them indoors with a heat mat and a light. Next up are tomatoes. Any kind of tomatoes you want to grow in the garden, you're going to be able to plant those out by January, February, or very early March at the latest. So right now is the time to start these seeds indoors, also with a heat mat and a light. Also, peppers. Peppers are the slowest seed to get going indoors. So it's time to get those going as well. And you might need to up the heat a little bit on those heat mats to make sure the peppers assume that it's more like summer outdoors. Finally, any kind of melons that you want to grow. Watermelon, cantaloupe, even those big pumpkins or gourds. Believe it or not, January is a time for you to start these seeds indoors so you can move them out into the garden at the start of March so they have a lot of time to get established and start to fruit before things really get hot in the middle of the summer. So believe it or not, you're going to grow all these beautiful fruiting plants. Start them indoors right now in January. You're going to have the most gorgeous spring garden while the rest of the country is still under a blanket. If you're ever thinking, how does Nicole know always what to do, when to do it, what to plant, how to make the most out of her garden? This is my secret to staying on track all year long in the garden. It's our seasonal planners. Now you can get all 4 of these seasonal planners together in a bundle, or you can just get one at a time. But each of these is going to give you 3 months of instruction, how to plant, how to tend, how to harvest for every single season. It's got a list of tasks, and I even give you the step-by-step to do each and every task in the garden. It's like a garden encyclopedia, but it's by season. So I'll put a link to these right below this video, then you don't have to wait till my next YouTube to know what to do next. We'll come back to type 2, but first let's talk about type 3. You guys, I'm sorry. I know you're freezing. I've been there. I lived in Chicago for 4 years, and my oh my, January is a tough month. But take heart because you can start some plants indoors. And trust me when I say these little sprigs of green that are going to pop out of the soil indoors, even though you're down in your basement, freezing to death, it's going to give you hope that one day the sun will come out. So this is a time for you to start perennial herbs, things that you want to plant on the edges and corners of your garden. And this is a perfect time to get them going indoors because trust me, they take a long time to get started and they're super pricey at the plant store. So first up is lavender. This is one of my best pest protection plants. These take a long time to get started from seed, so start these indoors. My favorite, sage. Oh my goodness, you're gonna get so much bang for your buck. This is an easier herb to start from seed because the seeds are bigger. They're a little bit more round. These always start well for me indoors, so make sure you start your sage Also great for pest protection. Oregano, you are gonna become your own spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, oregano oil. You're gonna do all the things with this oregano because you're starting it now. Plant these seeds indoors as well. Mint. I know, mint can't be grown with all the other plants in your raised beds, but trust me on this, the more mint you have in containers around your garden, the better. It's perfect for pest protection. It wards off like flies and mosquitoes, and it is so delicious in spring and summer drinks. So start your seeds now so you don't have to buy any plants. And finally, thyme. So great to start indoors, gives you lots of pest protection, delicious flavor for roasted dishes. If you start it now, you'll never have to buy it from the store all year long. So your assignment is simple. Lots of herbs, maybe like a row of each one of these indoors right now. It'll give you hope and it'll give you a great garden starting around April or May. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Nicole, I don't want to start all these seeds indoors. That sounds complicated. Heat mats and lights and trays and all this stuff. No worries, I got you, okay? The Easy Garden Kit is the answer. This is 10 seeds that can all be started directly in the soil right in your garden when it's the right time. So if you are a type 1 or 2, then you would focus on these seeds pretty quickly. We got bush beans, zinnias, arugula, zucchini, and cucumbers. These can go in the ground as soon as your last frost has passed. So January, February for my number ones. And then if you're in type 2 or type 3, then you'll start focusing on this group first. Radishes, carrots, lettuces, peas, spinach. So this whole thing, it's just really, really inexpensive, like $10 at the time of making this video. So you can get all these seeds and then you'll have something to plant now and later, no matter where you live. Finally, type 2 gardeners, you're gonna end your frost date around March or April. Now is the time that you're gonna make or break your spring season. You wanna start these plants indoors. You wanna think about these large kind of fruiting green plants that love cold weather. First up is broccoli. If you've never had a homegrown head of broccoli, this is your year, my friend. Start the seeds indoors right now and put a light on top of it. You're gonna have delicious broccoli by like March or April. Next up, we got cabbage. Napa cabbage is my favorite cabbage and it just doesn't taste the same at the grocery. Start the seeds indoors, plant them out around February, start of March, boom, you're gonna have delicious cabbages in April. Next up is cauliflower. Again, never had your own homegrown cauliflower? It's so good. You can grow this if you start from seed indoors right now. And then we got kale. Kale, yeah, we're talking kale smoothies, kale, sauteed kale. We're talking about omelets with kale, all kinds of things that you can make with this if you start the seeds right now. And Swiss chard, my favorite beautiful plant that I love to put in the garden, but you need to start the seeds indoors now so they can go out to the garden at the end of February. All right, I'm freezing, so we gotta wrap up this video, but don't forget, you can go get your frost date calculator right below this video. Figure out your frost date so you know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. And then I made a whole video all about starting a garden because you might be watching this and you're like, I don't even have a garden to plant yet. Well, we got to fix that. So go watch that video right now.